Well, hello everyone, I'm Dr. Stock and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Today, I realized just how badly I need a haircut, and I'm also bringing some stocks to you. I've talked about each of them before. One I want to recap from yesterday and where I think it might be going in the near future and talk about one of the plays that I've taken on it. The other one is kind of a freebie because I haven't quite discussed it in my Patreon yet with my patrons that are over there in my Discord, but I'm going to bring it to their attention soon and talk about what I see coming with it. So I'm going to toss that into the YouTube video for you, so you're welcome for that one. And then finally, one other one that I did share with my patrons in the Discord, and also, well, the first one I shared as well. But in any case, that last one I just more recently took action on. So I want to share these plays with you and what I see coming forward from them or coming out from them in the near future. Boy, these early morning videos are difficult. I'll tell you what, my mind is still and I haven't had enough coffee yet. So moving on from there, let's get ready to rock. Welcome back. For those of you who are interested, down in the description is a link to my Patreon. If you go on over there, you can see my buy alerts, my sell alerts, also some of the ideas that I think about, that I toss around. Also, my investors that are over there, they are awesome, passionate people and just super supportive crowd and just genuinely great people. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in and you're also one of those people, come on over and join us. We'd absolutely love to have you. The more the merrier. Why not? Also, Moo, Weeble, those referral links down there. You can sign up, deposit your money. You'll get some free stocks thrown at you. I get some free stocks for the referral, so we both win there. Free returns, easy gains for both of us, so awesome advantage there as well. And then there's something else, the like button. Cover up your eyeballs, let destiny guide you towards that like button. And then there's the subscribe button and notification bell. Go ahead and ring that thing so you can see anytime that my videos come out. Some of them are time sensitive, and other ones you get to sit back and think on a little bit longer, a little bit more time for research and due diligence of your own, as that's what it takes in order to make that decision. You should also talk to a financial advisor. Let's move on from there, right into the stocks, and I'll tell you what I have for you. All right, so the chart that you're looking at right now is for SOFI, and you can see, let's go back here a little bit. Look at the volume difference from what we had back in here during that sell-off period, and even back here when we had that run-up, compared to the volumes that we're having now. There is a lot of attention taking place over SOFI, and more recently we got an analyst estimate of $25 per share along with the impending news of the bank charter, and that is causing us to have some serious price action. I spoke in my last video about this line of resistance that we had in the 50-period simple moving average that I have up here, and then yesterday we popped up above that strongly, full body candle above that. So resistance broken, and it's on good volume, so we have lots of confirmation. We are currently between the 50-day down here and the 200-day simple moving averages, so that could be our next line of resistance right around the mid-17s. If we break through that, we could also be in very good shape. But this sort of volume and this sort of jump up, we could either have a little bit of profit taking since we're near resistance, or what could also happen is that we could see just another strong day's rally if we have another strong day in the market. And that has been something that has turned out very well for me and could continue to work out very well for me in the near future. Now, mind you, I have a bullish longer term position. It's a smaller one for SOFI, but anticipating some movement out of SOFI on Monday. When I did my rebalancing my portfolio, I also picked up a couple of call option contracts for SOFI that were fairly cheap because they were fairly far out of the money. One of them was for the 1750 call, and that, since we got so close to being in the money, like despite the fact that it had a shorter time value on it, it was one that I think my cost basis was around 13 cents per contract for that 1750 call on October the 8th, if I'm remembering all the details correctly. And that one quickly went up 4x. I took a little bit of those. I sold a little bit of them just to cover my cost basis, reducing it to zero. So then I had absolutely no money invested in that contract, or I should say that I had none lost in that contract that in that transaction that I made. My goodness. Whew, I'm taking a sip of coffee. Hang on here. We got to fix this video for you. There we go. All right, so I sold off just a couple contracts. It completely covered my costs for that, so anything left is profit. Then it went up to 5x, and I was like, you know what? I better not be too greedy here. I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of this price action while we have such volatility, such big movement for SoFi. So I did that, and I still have a few other contracts that remain for SoFi for that date. And right now they're currently sitting at just over 300% right now in the pre-market hours. So let me move on from there. So here comes the freebie. Here comes ChargePoint. And for ChargePoint, I don't have any options positions in ChargePoint. I do have a long-term position in ChargePoint. However, when I look at this and I look at the depressed price that we have, and right now we're around $20 per share, and the low that we hit is around $19 per share. Like, we have some really strong support happening down here, but we also have, let me hit the auto button here so we get our scale fixed up. There we go. So we have some very, very good support down here, but we also have that continuing bearish pressure that's been holding us down for a long time. For ChargePoint, I think that there's a number of ways to play this. One, if you're a long-term investor, if you're bullish on ChargePoint like I am, one thing that you can do is you can just buy the stocks and hold on to them, and you can dollar cost average over time, and that's one of the strategies that I employ. Some other things that I consider when I look at this. One is that I could buy some leap options for either January 2023, January 2024, because as of right now, I don't see any big points in time where we're going to have that sort of super spike up volatility if you're going to be an options trader, not looking to exercise those options, but more take advantage of the premium on those options going up sharply in price like I did with SoFi. Then the leap options could be one of those places where you would find that, and well, then you could go ahead and choose your price target on that, and you could base it off of the current 12-month price targets, for example, or you could have it something that would just be down near where it's currently at. For me, I would go somewhat farther out of the money just because I would like to take advantage of something cheaper, but not too far out of the money where I think that it's going to be just so far out that it's all extrinsic value and it's just going to bleed away through time value. And like, to me, that just wouldn't be a good thing. Now, something else that I think of is if we have such strong support around $19 or $20 per share for ChargePoint, then something else, if you're looking for a position and you're looking to exercise that position, selling some puts could allow you to collect some premium while you wait for that price to come down. And let's say that you sold a put. Let me look at actually we'll go here to the options prices so you guys can see too. So we're looking at ChargePoint, and it looks like they have $18 strike prices. Let me collapse some of these. Let's go all the way down. Here we go to the leap options. Yeah, we can get down as low as $15 per share. But if you go out that far, you know, you're kind of waiting a long time, and that could tie up a lot of your capital. So if you're going to sell a put, like looking somewhere nearer term, like for example, what we have here for the like the November 19th selling the put, that's at $17.50. So you could collect $102 as premium for selling that put. So you could collect $102 for selling that put, and that would reduce your cost basis down to about $16.50 or $16.48 for those 100 shares if you exercised, or I'm sorry, if you got assigned to buy those shares as a result of selling that put option. Now, yeah, you would have to, it'd have to be a cash covered put most likely, and you would have to be able to purchase those 100 shares possibly by November the 19th, but you're coming in at a price that's significantly reduced, 15 to 20% lower than that line of support that we have. And it's just a nice way to solidify a really good position with a really good cost basis while you're collecting that premium. And if it never gets down that low, well, you still got the $102 anyway. So those are some of the thoughts that I have about ChargePoint. I think that there's some options plays to be made here. If you're anticipating some sort of near-term movement, then you could look at some nearer-term expirations, not too near that the time value and extrinsic value bleeds away on you, but it's something you could go somewhat out of the money and expecting that to jump up, let's say maybe to about $23, $24 per share. So if you took a strike price that came in near that, but still out of the money, that would be one that might cost you a little bit more because it's near to being in the money or at the money, but it is outside of it. But that's something that if we do get that spike up in price, now you want to have a catalyst in mind first. That is something that could be very lucrative for an options play. All right, and for the last one, we'll take a look at NIO, and NIO finds very strong support in the mid-30s, between $34 and $35 per share. So this is one that I also purchased some near-term, out-of-the-money call options because I think that we're going to see very good news coming out of the deliveries for NIO in the near future. As a matter of fact, there's even some news coming out of NIO that they have a longer range 75 kilowatt hour hybrid battery. So you can look up the news on this one. Actually, here I'll click on it and see if they'll give us a little bit of a pop-up. There we go. So the nice thing about this battery, not only is it longer range, but it's also cheaper for NIO to produce. So cutting those costs of production is absolutely excellent. And it also performs, I think it has a 25% longer range in lower temperatures. So, or it reduces the range loss by 25% in lower temperatures. And that's huge. When you have those lower temperatures, sometimes the batteries underperform because the chemical reactions just don't happen as strongly or as quickly. I don't know if you've ever tried to start an ICE vehicle on a cold day when your battery's not that strong, and there is something called cold crank amperage. And if you don't have the cold crank amps to turn your car over when it's too cold outside, well, then your car doesn't start. It just roar, 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 and eventually just runs your battery down because it's not strong enough to fire. So it's not necessarily completely the same thing here because we're not trying to cause any sort of ignition to happen, but we do want those chemical reactions to happen within those batteries. And so being able to perform better and have better power management systems in these 75 kilowatt hour batteries is a really great thing. And they said that they'll be ready for November of this year. So this is something that could move the stock price in the near term. Now, one of the reasons that I made the options plays that I did, I went, I think, with the $40 strike price, and so that's a price I see us coming back to in the very near future. I think the delivery news for NIO is going to be very good on October the 1st. I mean, we already know that they have record-setting demand. We already and we anticipate, based on the numbers that they projected, that NIO projected, that there's going to be a record-setting amount of deliveries, and that for the month of September, that also means a record number of deliveries for the third quarter of 2021. And then we'll see the guidance, if they give us guidance about the delivery estimates for Q4, and if those are stronger than what we had for Q3, then it's green lights all the way, and I think that we're right back to that $40 per share, or even low to mid 40s from there, depending on what sort of excitement we get, and also how the Chinese markets are doing, and also how the US markets are doing. So there's a lot that's wrapped up into this. NIO, I think, is a leader in the Chinese EV space, and then moving expansion into Europe is also going to be big. By the way, it delayed the unveiling of its new vehicle in Norway by a week. That is something else that came out today, so that's something else that you want to watch out for. I do have a long position in all three of these companies presented in these videos. I have stock options in two of them, and I'm considering the one in ChargePoint. I'm not exactly sure how I want to play it yet. I'm still making up my mind on that one, but as I form those ideas, I'll share those out in my Discord, and then people can do their own decision making if they want to participate in it or they don't want to. That is entirely up to them. But if I do make that purchase, if I buy any call options or if I sell any puts, regardless of whatever I decide to do, I will post that in the Discord so that people can see my commitment that I've made in that option or in those stocks or in the cryptos, whatever it happens to be. My buy and sell alerts are all posted all over there, as well as my portfolios. All right, let me jump out of this. So let me summarize. SOFI could still have some really good price action in the near term, and when we do hit that bank charter, that 50% upside that the analyst, I think the analyst from Jefferies, my goodness, analyst in Jefferies, is that a portmanteau? I think it is. So the $25, they say about 50% upside from its current price. That's very believable, especially in the news of the bank charter, and that's why I have some near-term options, but I also have some longer-term options at a higher strike price for SOFI moving forward from here. And then also ChargePoint, like I said, I still have my long-term position. I'm considering if I would like to sell any puts or instead, because what I could do is collect the premium. And honestly, I don't know that I'd ever see those 100 shares anyway. I think that they would stay out of the money, but I'd still get fairly good premium from it as a result, because I think that we do have some really good support. Another thing I'm considering is buying some call options, probably a few that would be somewhat nearer term, and then some others that would be a longer term, possibly some leap options in there, are some of the things that I consider for ChargePoint, given its position in the EV space as an EV charging company, the leading EV charging company that we have access to in the publicly traded markets. And then finally, NIO. Absolutely love NIO, and I already have some options there, and I'm looking into what else I want to do, if anything, from NIO, from its current price, where it currently stands, and where I think that it's going from here, because I think that there are some very lucrative opportunities. So that's what I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Check out that Patreon if you'd like to. We'd absolutely love to have you over there as part of the community. Come in, talk, interact with us, share the ideas, share the support, and let's all work our way towards financial freedom. Moo Moo and Weeble, sign up, deposit your money, and get your free stocks, and thank you for the free stocks that you send back my way. Well, you're not sending them. Moo Moo and Weeble would be sending them. You get your own stocks, I get my own stocks, and everybody's happy. So eyes wide open, press that like button, subscribe button, and that notification bell. There's one more thing. Great hair day. Is it a great hair day, though? Well, it's kind of all over the place. I need a haircut so bad. I'm Dr. Stock. Thanks for walking with me. Now go get that money.